Hi, fifth grade. It's finally time to finish our weather project. We're going to make the graphs by doing the part 3 instructions. You're going to start with step 1 by going to your H drive and opening your weather file. Step 2 says to click and drag to select cells A3 through G10. So I'm going to click in cell A3 where the word city is. I'm going to drag over to G and down to 10. That selects all my data. Step 3, I'm going to click on the Insert tab at the top of the screen. I'm going to click on Column in the Charts area of the ribbon. So this is the Charts area, and these are my column charts, okay? You have two choices. You can either pick the first 2D column chart or the first 3D column chart. The ones that are stacked are not going to be good choices. It's too hard to compare the data. So the whole point of this is to make a bar graph so that we can compare data. So either the first 3D or the first 2D. Step 4, you're going to click Switch Row Column. When you do that, it's going to put your city info underneath, and it's going to compare all your January average highs, all of the lows, and so on. Step 5, we're going to click and drag to move the chart below your data. So the thing you need to be careful of with this is you don't want to lose any cities. Be careful of where you're clicking. So I'm going to make sure that I've got my 4 arrows for moving. I'm going to click on the edge of my graph, and I'm going to drag it under. And then I can use a corner to change the size. Now, I can't really tell exactly how big I'm making it here, but I can help you do that. If you go to File, Print, and then you back out of it, you can now see the dotted lines of where your print breaks are. So if I go back to this chart, I can make it go just inside the dotted lines. That's going to make it as big as possible without going onto a second page. So you should just be able to see those dotted lines. Okay, that completes the front of the direction sheet. Let's move on to the back. Step 6 says to color code the bars in your chart to match the color coding in your spreadsheet. So it tells us to click on a city. I'm going to click once and it will select all of my cities. If I click a second time, I'll get just the first city. I can right click, go to my fill bucket, and I can pick the color I used above. So I can scroll up here if I can't see it. You can also zoom out if you need to see everything at once. Okay. So again, I'm using my fill bucket. And if you made your own colors, they would be in recent colors. If you didn't make your own colors, they would be up in the standard or theme colors. And if you can't figure out which color you used, I'm fine if you want to change it at the top and the bottom, as long as they match. Then you're going to right click on your next one, again, pick the fill bucket and pick your color. And you go through and do each of those. Step 7, it says change the chart title to weather. So I'm going to click on my chart title, then I'm going to click and drag to select it, and I'm going to type in weather. Because it is a title, I'm starting it with a capital letter. Step number 8, click on your data. If you stay clicked on the graph, you will only be able to print the graph. Okay, so I'm going to stay clicked on the graph for a second. If I go to File Print while I'm clicked on the graph, all I can print is the graph. If this comes out of the printer, I have no idea who it belongs to. So I need to back up. I need to click on the data. Then when I go to File Print, I can see everything. It should say page 1 of 1. If it does not say of 1, then you have made a mistake. I'll show you the most common mistakes I see. The most common thing I see is graphs that go just a little bit onto the next page. So if I click on my data and go to File Print on here, I now have 4 pages. I have a tiny little bit of the graph here, and on page 3, and this little corner on page 4. I don't want to waste all that paper, so I need to make sure that my graph is inside of those dotted lines. Okay? All right, let me go to File Print again. I'm back to page 1 of 1, so it looks good. I'm going to make sure it says West Lab if I'm at West and South Lab if I'm at South, and I'm going to hit Print. And then I'm going to end by saving with the purple floppy disk. That completes your weather graphs.